One of the statements we made earlier is that a lot of practices don't do well because their financial or inability to produce good financial results. And this comes back to this mindset around money, profitability, etc. And one of the things practices do, well, the three things that actually drive performance is, one, the pricing structure, how we price our services. Not so much the products, because you buy a product, mark it up and resell it. It kind of has its own innate profitability factor. But services, my time in the consulting, my time in the operating theatre, how do I value that and how do I put a price to it? No one seems to know how. Part of the exercise, we call it digital analysis. That's say, I wonder what everyone else is charging, and charge something around that, making the assumption the other vets know what they're doing, which they don't. There was an interesting Canadian study, and they looked at various professions, at how much the professions discount their services. So as you can imagine, accountants, 0. Solicitors and lawyers, maybe 5%, but when you got to physiotherapists and osteopathy, you got to 10 to 15%, the more human-related professions. Vets, 41% discounting. So 41% of the work they're doing, they're discounting down below an achievable level, but they're actually discounting it down from a level that was unprofitable in the first place. And so this mindset around discounting is one, lack of knowledge of how we price stuff anyway. Most vets find the work they do relatively easy to deliver, and therefore they don't put much value on it themselves, even though the client and the patient are getting massive value around that. And then the pricing systems are made up. So as an employed vet, if I'm thinking, well, the boss made up the prices, so can I. So I just do what I think is right by the client and discount the pricing or not charge for that. And there's different ways of discounting. Equally, a lot of the pricing structures in place. So here's our primary consultation rate. If I see an animal again, I'll charge a lower figure. If I see it again, I'll charge a lower figure again. If I see it again, I'll probably charge nothing because I've seen it 4 times and it's still not better. So there's a depreciation of our own value, and that has a massive impact on the bottom line profitability. So I don't know what practices here are doing, but the average profitability of a practice in the UK is about 5%, which is far too low for sustainability over time. Particularly if you now add in that we're going to have economic changes over the next couple of years, definitely. We're going to have more competition come into the market. We've got corporatisation forcing up the price of practices and performance issues. Then demographics is the other thing that's happening. And now we've got, interestingly, 3 demographic groups. You've got your millennials in the market, 30%. We've got our Gen Xers trying to manage them, 30%. We've got us old fogies, the boomers at back end, trying to sort of give wise advice, but we mucked it up in the first place. So none of that's going to work. And really the one that no one talks about is technology. Technology is going to change the game completely. And that's going to take money to invest to actually keep ahead of those waves and curves. And they're the things people aren't taking much notice of. So the discounting is at the core of this. The core of that is a mindset around money that vets seem to have acquired. Those practices that figure that out can deliver the quality to the client and charge appropriately for it, do very, very well.